Hi and welcome back to Agrarian Skies, and today we are starting our very first big build. Now what's the point of these big builds, I hear you saying? Because, well, frankly, isn't Agrarian Skies a survival map? Yeah, it is. But it's a particularly well designed and well thought out survival map. So, with that being the case, I have decided that one of the things I want to do is I want to use this survival map to make a, I suppose you could call it a stylistic message, which is, why not take what is a survival map, yes, and turn it into something more, something better, something awesome. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm sure some of you have guessed that what I've been planning to do from the hints over the last few days was I'm making my own version of Isengard. And to that end, I've already started a little thing, which is I brought this all the way out here. This is, of course, the basis of my Isengard. Now, I am making Isengard, as in Saruman's castle, keep, fortress. And one of the things about Isengard is it's not just the tower Orthanc. Orthanc is one part of it, but there's also all of the grounds. He has originally, there's a forest surrounding it, and there's paths coming off of it. And I was looking at various interpretations and drawings of it, including ones from the movies, ones from various illustrators over the past umpteen years, and I realized that there were aspects of all of them that I liked. Now, one of the things about the movie version that I liked is that despite the fact that it is still Isengard, it's kind of smaller. The view of the actual grounds of it vary in the way that they are seen size-wise based on the shot and what have you. So sometimes it seems to be a relatively small ground and an enormous tower. And then other times it seemed to be huge, vast grounds that take minutes for these enormously tall ents to walk across, with a tower that is smaller in comparison. And then amongst all the illustrations I've seen for it, the size of the grounds, the way the grounds match up to the tower vary quite a bit. Now, so what I'm doing is I'm going with smaller grounds in relation to the tower, because first of all, my computer, where I went out there, is as far as my computer can render and allow me to see my original skyblock, and it's important to me to have that skyblock. I need to get rid of some junk before I get started. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my Isengard and my Orthanc. It will be an Orthanc. By which I mean it will be recognizable as Orthanc. It will be Orthanc, but it will be my interpretation of Orthanc from what I've seen in movies, what I remember from the books, all that sort of thing. I am making an Orthanc, yes, but I'm not going to make Orthanc the way I would be kind of required to, if that makes any sense to you. Now, at the moment, I could actually use putting some more stone into that, so that's okay. I will reload that with stone. Hopefully that didn't lag my server. It didn't for once. My plan is to... Well, there's all of these... English. Come on, Amanda. English. There's all of these interesting blocks and what have you, but the way I'm going to go with this is I'm going to make a 2 deep cobblestone base, which is going to be circular. And I'm going to show how that's going to be laid out, but I'm not going to necessarily show every step along the way. Oh, won't let me hang these up. Weird. Okay, maybe it'll let me do it this way. It does. Okay. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to have a large disc with a diameter of 300 blocks, which is 300 meters. I am going to make Orthanc the actual height it should be, but the grounds are going to be smaller. The grounds themselves are going to be 2 deep cobble and then 1 deep of soil and paths that come radiating out like spokes on a wheel. At the center will be the vast obsidian tower of Orthanc. I'm going using obsidian bricks, which is why I was making them. And I will also be making copious use of a... where did I put it? Thought it was in here. Maybe it's in here. Maybe it's up there. Oh, I'll find it. There's a saw mod in this that allows you to cut stones down to different sizes. You've seen me using it in the past. And I'm going to make copious use of that in order to just make my life a little bit easier. How much wood is there left in that? Lots, okay. So it's worth doing this. And, okay, getting back to what I was talking about. I'm going to be using this stone as raw stone for doing the walls that surround the valley, the circular disc valley of Isengard, and then I'm going to use the bricks for the actual tower. It's going to be where I grow my forestry, basically where I grow my forest, essentially. I thought I made more limestone than that. I did. The limestone is going to be used for the paths because I think they should be white, and this is going to be brightly lit. I don't agree with the idea that Saruman the White, even back when he was, back when he was still ostensibly a good guy, I don't believe he would have lived in a vast tower that frankly looks like shit. I don't think he would have done that. So that being the case, I'm fixing that. I'm not going to let that happen. Now, the first thing I'm going to do here today is I'm going to show how these building guides work. So the first thing we're going to do is... oh, I'm hungry. Okay, that explains a lot. I'm going to place this down and I'm going to create a cylinder, and I'm just going to flatten it down so it gives me my 300 by 300. And I'll be using my builder's wand to fill it. I am going to record most of this. 1, 2, and we smashy, and I think I'm going to need a step. Oh shit, didn't mean to do that. Yeah, cylinder mode I want. Yeah, okay. And as you can see, it creates a cylinder. Now, if I go underneath and click it, it changes the height. I don't need this to be particularly high. I just need a... oh, that went to 0. I didn't mean to do that. I just want it high enough to... yeah, that's perfect. And now that's reducing. So we go to the other side, and as you can see, the numbers go up. So I need to put this up to... I think 150. I'm not sure if this is the diameter or if it's the radius. And as you can see, the block count is spiraling out of control. We'll get it to 150 and I'll run back up along and see if it intersects where it should. And this won't support you if you walk into the ghost. Okay, I think that should be right. Those ghost blocks will not support you. If you try and step on them, you're falling to your doom. but they are great for... Seriously? Seriously. You are frickin' joking me. Okay, maybe it's a rendering problem. Well, do we have... No, we don't have that, do we? That's irritating. Maybe if I render out the other side. Well, it looks like it's about... It actually does look like the lowest one is out. So that actually does give me that. It does mean that it's like it's the radius rather than diameter. I'll have to look into why that's not allowing me to see it once I go beyond a certain point. That's a little irritating. And oh, not as irritating as that. Oh, that's down. Other side. Sigh. As you can see, it's going out quite rapidly. And it's going to be an enormous space. I mean, there's no getting away from that. This is going to be several thousand blocks just for the grounds. And a lot of people are going to go, why are you doing something so big in Agrarian Skies of all things? You know, it's Agrarian Skies, who cares? Well, I like the fact that with Agrarian Skies there's no terraforming. Wow, that's big. Holy crap, that's big. Whoa, mama. Wow. Wow. That is enormous. That is going to be a big forest. The reason I'm doing it this way is I like big builds. I love the concept of them. I love the way they work. I love that they work. I'm not going to lie about that. It is awesome the way that big builds work. I mean, they're just so enjoyable to do, and I should really put F7 on. Yeah. And oh, I really wish that this Builder's Wand would go to infinity, but it doesn't. There we go. I'm going to need a lot of a lot of torches as well. But yes, this is going to be very well lit because it needs to be. And I'm fine with that. I'm also fine with the sheer amount of cobble this is going to use because I'm looking forward to it actually. So yeah, as you can see, it's pretty standard building for this part at least, and yeah, it's absolutely ginormous and it's going to use so many resources and the whole lot, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I love the idea of a really, really, really big build. And I don't see why more people don't do truly enormous builds. They're fun to do. And I've always had a great love of doing them since I started playing Minecraft. Like one of my very first major projects was I dug a pit 200 by 200 down to bedrock, and I built a skyscraper from iron and glass inside it with a kind of like a spiral roller coaster going down to it and back up from it. And I don't know anybody else who would be mad enough to do that kind of build in vanilla just for fun, but I did it. It took me 2 months just to hollow out the pit. I'm going to need to build a cobble gen out here actually now that I think about it. Wow, that's big. I'm going to have to look up. There should be a solution for the problem with actually. I wonder if I can go further now that I have the radius right the whole way around. But yes, I'm not going to show all all of this. I just wanted to show you kind of what I'm up to. I've won. Oh, for God's sake, it doesn't. Okay. Oh, there's a snow biome there. Awesome. That's the other reason I'm making this so big. I want neutral and friendly mobs to start spawning in a big way, and this is one way I can see of doing it. Okay. Now the reason I'm filling this out is I also want to do the I want to lay out the tower, and the version of the tower I'm doing is from an illustration. I can't remember the name of the illustrator, but I saw it when I was in my mid-teens, and it shows Isengard as almost like a garden kingdom. That's not even the right phrase for it, actually. It had this beautiful woodlands all around it, and these gorgeous curving pathways, or what, radial pathways, and that wasn't all about it. It had Orthanc itself was on top of a dome, for the lack of a better way of describing it, and being on top of that, it was on a risen black dome that came up I think about 20 feet into the air, or about maybe even less than that, but it presented Orthanc to the viewer. It wasn't just that Orthanc existed, it was presented to you as a reality, and it was beautiful. Orthanc itself was a bit rougher. It wasn't quite the polished construction that it was in Jackson's Lord of the Rings. It was rawer and rougher, and I really loved that, but I also know that most people wouldn't necessarily recognize that as Orthanc, not after, of course, the Lord of the Rings. So that being the case, I'm going to do a happy medium between the two. I want to put my Orthanc on a dome, or at least the very top of a dome, and while I am going to do my version of Orthanc, I'm going to try and make it a little rougher than the Jackson version, because I really love the version from that illustration, and that's what I'm going for. And as I said in the lead up to this little sub-series, you can't be a real wizard without a proper wizarding tower, and I don't know about you, but I can't think of a better wizarding tower than Saruman's great fortress. I mean, you never really see the great Tower of Saruman. I think it's Barad-dûr. It's a long time since I read the books or watched the movies. But you never really see that. You kind of see it at a distance from most of the movie, and usually in Frodo's nightmares, which is fine. It is fine, but for once I wanted to do something that is symbolic of movie wizards and wizardry and magic. And I mean, a big part of this game is blood magic, which, well, the words blood and magic are pretty synonymous with evil. And so is the word Isengard for an entire generation of geeks and what have you. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it there for this session. In the next session, I will hopefully have a large enough pad made that I can start laying out the actual tower, and I will also hope I will be doubling it up and filling out things a little bit more. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you again soon. Bye!